This gave me a good base to start off on. Rather than focusing directly on field work, we were given the chance to basically slow down and listen and learn about the mission in India, like the Martha Church's mission. And I feel that the Utchins and the evangelists that, I didn't even know the Martha Church had evangelists, to be honest. They did a great job in explaining all the mission center's goals to help with the people that they had to work with. More than anything though, the trip opened up something in me spiritually. I feel like growing up I was always in church, physically present in like Sunday school and like youth fellowship, but I wasn't always there like mentally or spiritually. It was kind of just me going through the motions. What shifted for me on this trip was how I began to understand what the church really is. Well, we visited small mission centers, which are just simple spaces where people gather to worship with full hearts. And I feel like in those places where I truly felt God's presence more clearly than I had in a long time, I feel like a verse that we always say is, if where 2 or 3 are gathered in your name, I will be in your midst. And for the first time in a while, I felt like I wasn't just sitting in the church, but I was fully present and a part of it. And we were also invited to a revival night, which is where we got to worship with the community. And we weren't there, like Seven Chichi mentioned, rather than what you can do, just being present is what helps for a lot of people there. And we weren't there to lead, we were just there to join in. And presence in itself is its own ministry. We often think mission is about bringing God to people, but God is already there, and we just have to, we're not the ones carrying God in, we're the ones that are being invited into what God is already doing there. And me and Sanjiji attended this conference a couple weeks ago, and Larry Utchin, which is the youth chaplain there, he said, the goal of a Christian is to live a life where heaven comes down on earth, not living a life expecting to go to heaven. And I feel like that's exactly what I saw. Like, despite people living in difficult circumstances, spaces are still being created where God's presence is real and tangible. And faith isn't about waiting for heaven, it's about living in a way that brings heaven to others. And so this trip didn't just change the way that I saw missions, but like for actually like as a collective, like all the kids that we talked to that went on the trip with us, it changed the way we all like saw our faith. And it just helped me realize that following Jesus isn't about doing more, but it's about being present and taking in what he has already given you, and just being able to understand like the community around you and help others. And because mission isn't something that we go on, it's honestly a way of life. And it's sometimes all it takes is just being present, open, and willing to see God in the most unexpected of places. So thank you.
Amen.